Hi, Jack here. I just got 2 quick things to tell you before we get this podcast started. Number 1, you're going to hear us talk about plunderphonics and sampling a lot on this show. And in case you don't already know, plunderphonics is any music made by taking one or more existing audio recordings and altering them in some way to make a new composition. And sampling is the act of taking a portion, or sample, of one sound recording and reusing it as an instrument in a different song or piece. Number 2, this podcast contains ample amounts of swearing, so listener discretion is advised. All right, that's all I've got. Enjoy the podcast.
All right, so we can basically start anytime, right?
Yep. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. We are here with Steve, also known as ThinkFishTank, and Pat, also known as P.SUS, and I am Jack, or Jawka. Welcome.
The very first podcast, or...
Wow, the first one.
The very first one, yes. Here we fucking go. All right, I'll probably bleep that, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't decide about expletives yet.
We can make a decision about that later, I'm sure.
Hey, I think our audience are mature adults.
Right.
So
yes.
I'm pretty sure they can handle it, hopefully.
So what's going on, guys? How's everyone doing?
I'm good. I'm very busy with an apprenticeship that I'm a part of for this year, so I haven't had too much time for music, but I've been able to squeeze some things in here and there.
Nice.
But I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. It's January. It's the middle of winter, so I have a lot of time off, so I'm just making beats, playing video games. Yeah. It's great.
Nice.
Living the life.
That is the life.
That's right. So, let's get to Pat, because we're joined today by P.SUS. Very excited to talk to him.
I feel like I'll be on all of these, so...
Yeah, I would hope so.
But this is a special one for me, because my album's about to come out.
Right.
Ah, yes. Today is a special day.
Today is a special day. I'm very excited to hear this album. I've actually pre-ordered it.
Oh, thank you.
Digitally. Physically. Yeah. I am hype. So you better write me a nice message. Do you actually physically distribute those, or how's it work?
It's just me. I just go to the post office and hand them I've got my mailers, and, I was going to print out some shipping labels, because otherwise I think my wrist will die from writing.
Yeah, I would think so.
True.
How many pre-orders you got right now?
It's at 20.
Oh shit! Okay.
Or so.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
I
great.
haven't checked it recently, but it's around 20. So I have to
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a week.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
We should mention it's Temporary Sensations, new album. When's this drop?
January 20th.
Nice.
All right.
What is that, a Saturday?
I believe so. Yeah, it is a Saturday.
I think so. Yeah, perfect day for some new music. Nice. And we're looking at 22 new tracks.
Yeah.
On the digital version, 23 on the physical. Is that true?
There's a bonus track for the CD. So
nice.
So order that physical copy, y'all.
That's right.
I wish I could have put more bonus tracks on it, but the one that's on there, I was also just thinking artistically, this one seems to fit well with the other tracks, or it seems to be good enough to be a bonus track. And I have some other songs that I was that didn't quite make the cut, that I wanted to make bonus tracks, but I was just meh, I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it. So quality over quantity.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's right. And those tracks will probably pop up on another project or something, I would imagine. Usually are good about
maybe on a collaborate
putting out content
compilation.
Hint, hint. Maybe. That's exactly it.
That's just where I throw all my terrible tracks. I just throw it all to you guys.
Oh, yes, all the garbage.
I appreciate
all
it.
the garbage.
All the C material.
Yep.
Yes.
Not even the B's, but the
I'll say the C's and the D's, yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's awesome. So looking forward to that. And then hopefully down the pipeline we'll have a new Collaborate mixtape out. Probably, I think, due out February, I would guess.
Yeah, I'd say probably sometime then would be
If you guys
good.
get your shit together. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get our
My
shot.
bad, dude.
You can't rush quality.
Yeah, it's definitely on us.
Yeah.
That's the reason. That's exactly the reason.
Yeah, I can't rush quality, and also like Dom's got his album coming out.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Soon. He sent me a preview copy just to get my ears on it real quick. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. But...
Are you bragging on the radio right now? Just name dropping?
No, I'm just like, we're talking about Collaborate, and Dom is part of Collaborate.
I'm jelly.
So I'm like,
He's like, oh no, I got the new album, guys. It's, no
yeah, I haven't had a chance to listen to it just yet. But
oh, you haven't even listened to it? Okay.
But he's gonna be featuring several remixes from Collaborate folks, such as myself.
I think everyone here.
And I think everybody here is going to have a track on there. You all got to hear some previews a while ago, and he's told me that he's since done a lot of cleaning up and mastering of those tracks, and so that it should sound much better. I thought it was cool before, but I can't wait to hear what it sounds like now.
I think Jish is doing a remix too, so that's pretty hype.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're in for a treat with that one. But anyway, back to Pat.
We'll get on. We'll talk more about that one next time because we'll have Dom on and we'll talk about that. Maybe like next week. We can do this whenever.
Down.
Yeah.
I got tons of free time, guys.
Absolutely. Nice, dude. Me too.
Congratulations to both
Let's
of
just
you.
record us talking to each other.
I'm not bragging.
Sorry, Jack.
Try not to brag.
Right. So, what kind of stuff should we talk about as far as the new album? Like, was there anything in particular you wanna bring up, Pat, about sort of the influence or the vibe
sure.
or the hit us with some stuff.
Well, I feel like there's definitely some Pogo texture box influence, I suppose, with that.
Oh, word.
I kind of like.
Oh, interesting.
I like that album of his a lot, and I kind of like how it's sort of ADD and like the songs are sort of jump from one section to another and things like that. So I tried to do my own version of that a little bit on there. It is 22 tracks long, but a lot of them are kind of like interlude-y and short. I mean, still over a minute, but I've been inspired by like albums that kind of do that sort of jumping from, like, they don't spend too much time in one place. So that's been fun. And then also I wanted to do sort of like a meshing of like some of my new things I've been experimenting with. Like my last couple albums have been kind of going in a different direction from, like, say, my older stuff. So I feel like this album, and like some people have already mentioned this, which is like pretty nice with what they've heard already. Like, it kind of is a callback to like Open Ears, Open Mind, Open Heart, and
I love that album.
Thanks. Yeah. Like, there's definitely a lot of influence from that, and I just kind of wanted to bring everything together and like become my final form of P.SUS, like, just like
the final evolution.
Yeah, just kind of
form.
I also was I was going through my album Daydream and like remastering that while I was working on this.
Oh, whoa.
So
that's cool.
I feel like I influenced myself a little bit too, like listening to that album. Like, so there's a bit of that on there.
How long ago was Daydream?
Daydream was it came out in like December of 2011 or 10.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's an album that influenced me, I would think. Maybe not my sound exactly, but to like start making music.
I think it was 2010, one of those, by the way. It was like right at the end of 2010.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So December 2010-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's well before we knew each other. Wow.
Yeah. I was just, it was right after I met Jish and Dynamo and Pogo. It was like right at the beginning of that whole budding of relationship between the three of us, four of us. So, like Nick, kind of not, because he's sort
Kind
of
of.
his own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think fans are gonna like this album, because it's gonna be like, oh, I remember. Like, I think there's some little nuggets of familiar samples in there, maybe, if you've been paying really close attention. And let's see, I also, there's a lot of like personal recordings that I did. Like I got like a mic set up to take out on the go, so I can like record field recordings, like, you know, birds or ambient stuff, you know.
Oh, word. What do you use for that?
Well, I have a really shitty, like, I think it's meant for like just using voice recording yourself or whatever. I feel like it's probably marketed towards people that want to, like, you know, do voice notes, you know. They're like, you know, idea for a movie, you know, whatever. And
Right.
yeah, I just got one of those real cheap on Amazon, but then I got those binaural mics that Dom recommended to me.
Yeah. I got a
sick,
pair of those as well. Yeah.
So there's some of that on there.
What?
And that came out nice. And then I also, Jade, she gave me a directional microphone.
Shout out to Jade.
Yeah, shout out to my fiance.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Congrats.
congratulations on your engagement, by the
Thank
way.
you.
Hello.
I literally forgot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I'm real happy. I'm stoked for that. But anyways, she gave me a directional microphone, so I was using that a bit too, just like if I wanted to record something specific, not just like everything around me. Like the binaural microphones are for, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's cool. And other than that, it's just like your typical P.SUS, you know, sample collage stuff, I guess.
Nice. So are you saying this is kind of like an album that, in addition to your usual P.SUS sample collage, like you were just saying, where you can expect just the integration of some soundscapes weaving into that as well?
Yeah, especially like for like intros and outros to tracks. I also do like a lot of just keyboard playing on here. Like there's a lot of little synth lines and stuff that I have worked into there to kind of spice things up.
Yeah. How long have you been playing piano, keyboard? I remember you did play jazz for quite a while. In earlier conversations, I remember you talking about, like, this was before Pogo, before any of this madness.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you did.
Yeah, that was my first. I mean, that was how I was introduced into music, because my dad is a jazz musician, and you know, one of my best friends I kind of met through my dad. He was around my age, and he's become a jazz drummer. And while we were growing up, like we were surrounded by the jazz culture in Pittsburgh. You know, there's a really good jazz scene there, and a lot of really talented musicians. So I was infatuated with that when I was younger, and I was real inspired. Like, I actually played drums first, and then I wanted a little more melody and harmony in my life, so I picked up piano, and I started doing like jazz gigs when I was sort of like in high school mostly. And I don't know, I guess something just happened when I discovered, I mean, I was always interested in like music technology, like keyboards and recording and things like that, but something happened at the end of high school where I was like, you know what, I think I like the producing and, you know, making my own new kind of music better. Like, there was something attractive about that, because jazz is like super, it's kind of ancient history, you know. It's like everyone playing jazz, they're like honoring the old, and I mean, there's a lot of dignity in that, and I appreciate that. But I think making this kind of music that I make now, sort of like electronic stuff, it felt like, oh, a whole world of new, fresh possibilities and new music. Maybe that's why I was so attracted to it. So
Nice.
But I'm really glad that I have that jazz background, because it really like pushed me to learn music theory and learn piano and learn, and get an ear for that kind of music that I think is really helpful for whatever kind of music you're doing. I think like understanding and learning jazz things is only going to help you, take it to that next level. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it definitely shows in your music, your jazz background. It's very cool.
Well, thanks. I think it's going to be especially helpful too. Like after this album, I really want to focus on like bringing this stuff to the live setting and like getting more gigs as P.SUS and like getting to
tour.
Yeah. I mean, that's
tour. Is that how you say it up in Michigan?
Yeah.
Tour.
Yeah.
Tour.
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest, y'all.
Interesting. I didn't know that one.
I know it's tour.
Tour.
In some
Tour.
you say tour.
Would you like to go on a tour?
I like it.
No, please tour. That'd be great, and I'd love to come with you and open for you.
For sure.
For sure.
I mean,
that would be,
I have no idea how to make that
killer.
happen yet, but that's the dream,
That's the next step.
Yep.
So, yeah, it'll be cool to, like, my point though is just like, it'd be nice to like be able to get up there and play like live keyboard solos and stuff alongside my music.
Yeah, that'd be so sick. I mean, like, who's really out there doing that?
I mean, I don't think there's many doing it quite like I am, or like what I'm envisioning at least.
Yeah.
For the live show. So hopefully it'll be engaging for people.
I think you're right.
Do it. Do it.
I'm kind of introverted and reserved or like shy, so it's been hard for me to like step outside of the safe space of the internet and be like, hey, would you like to hire me for a gig, please? It's just like that's like not really my personality. So I got to push myself to do this, because especially if I want to like have this job be sustainable and stuff, I gotta perform, and tour.
Right. Tour.
As it is with many creative jobs, you have to kind of, for lack of a better word, you got to package yourself up and sell yourself to people, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, that can be really
that's
difficult to do.
challenging for someone like me, and probably a lot of artists are kind of like that part of it is probably kind of uncomfortable for a lot of artists, if I had to guess, because I think we tend to be like
I think you're probably
shy,
right.
or like just sort of, we don't want to like or like not even just shy, but like not sure what our art is worth, because like you're always your greatest critic and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I think another part of it is like, to some degree, like the stuff that we create is pretty niche, and like you got to find an audience for that. It's like you can't be playing clubs and bars and stuff like that in the traditional sense that like a lot of like bands and certain DJs can do.
I'm not playing like Skrillex tunes or whatever the kids are into these days.
Right.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to play live once, and it was a lot of fun. It was like a Wednesday night, and so it was pretty dead, but I was having a good time.
Nice.
But it was pretty clear that aside from my sister, her boyfriend, and a couple of other people who'd come specifically to see me play. I mean, people weren't booing me off the stage by any means, but I could tell that I wasn't playing to the right crowd. So yeah, it is very niche stuff, and you got to kind of find the right audience for that, and that can be tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is an audience. There's definitely an audience out there, but you got to find it a little bit. And that's kind of something that I've been struggling with.
In addition to Plunderphonics, I'm in the middle of exploring possibilities with chiptune.
Oh, yeah.
An 8-bit kind of retro sounding stuff, because I know there's an audience for that.
There definitely is down here in Florida. There's a lot of people that go to bars and like set up their old Nintendo consoles and stuff and like hang out and play, and sometimes they'll like, I feel like that's a good opportunity for like a chiptune DJ and stuff. like I haven't been to the event in person, but I have, but not when a DJ was there. But I'm pretty sure I've seen things online about like there would be like a DJ playing like chiptune music that everyone's familiar with, and then all these nerds
nice.
playing Super Nintendo and stuff, and like drinking beer, and it's a good time.
Yeah,
there's definitely a market for that stuff. Like people are so into that.
Yeah, I'll have to look further into that when I have more time.
For sure.
but yeah, I've been saying this a lot. I still want to do another collaborate chiptune album.
Yeah, why aren't we doing that? That's actually that's great.
Collaborate bit too.
No.
That's a great idea, because that was definitely our biggest thing we've put out, and
I guess,
and put our name on the map before we even had a name.
that was our first. Yes.
Very
that was our
first
very
thing.
first
It's
thing
our
we
first
did,
time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We were 18.
Right.
We were still discovering ourselves.
We're all quite young, probably.
I'd say In the Air is probably our biggest thing,
fun.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I think we've raised like $300 from that or something like that. So
Nice.
it's pretty
and that
good.
was for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, or am I saying that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yep,
Yes.
you got it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was awesome.
$300 that we
like-
raised for that charity.
Yes, not for us. Yeah. But, people can give us money too if they want
I mean,
to.
yes, we understand that we gladly accept donations because, starving artists. But
Well, not starving,
Well,
but
yeah.
just hungry. Just quite hungry.
Starving for attention.
just there you go.
Yeah, that's right. You got it.
There you go. That's
Nailed it.
that's the one.
Awesome. So, yeah, let's do Collaborate Bit 2, and then Collabor 808
Oh.
hip-hop beats.
I haven't heard of that, but I like it.
All right.
Oh, yeah? Oh, it's an idea I pitched a little while
Oh
ago.
no shit. Okay.
I thought you'd like that one.
Yeah, I'd be down.
Yeah.
I've been making a lot of chiptunes too recently, so
Nice.
yeah, I've been getting really into that because I feel like I like making sample-based music and all that kind of fun stuff, but like when I finish an album or something, like I get kind of burnt out on it, so I like shift gears over to like making like MIDI, video game inspired music.
Yeah.
A lot lately.
Totally.
So
Lately, I've been making chiptune covers of different things
Nice.
and just having a ball with that. And like I've got like a good solid 6 or so tracks that I've put together in the last month or so. And I'm putting an album together, but it's occurring to me, I'm like, I can't really charge for this album because none of these songs are actually mine. But like I can maybe do one of those pay what you want kind of deals where
Like a cover album, is that what you're saying?
yeah, like a cover album where the music itself is absolutely free, but should you choose to donate your money to me, I would gladly take it.
I think covers aren't covers like covered by I don't know. I mean, like,
Are those fair
people put
use?
covers on albums all the time that are big releases.
Right, but when it comes to
Maybe
when
not
it comes to
100% covers.
when it comes to big releases like that, they can oftentimes get the royalties.
Yeah,
pay,
they like
pay
get the rights to do it, I
and
think.
get the rights to do it. But when it comes to,
I mean, you could probably get away with it.
I don't know where a chiptune arrangement would fall under, just because it's
Yeah, unless you sell like a million
it's kind
copies
of like
or
a
something.
transformative work. Fair use? I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah,
I'd
that's
have
what
to
I'm
look into
thinking.
that.
It's like,
but
Yeah.
like, if
isn't it fair use to cover things? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
really know.
yeah, to cover things, but to charge for them. I mean, if I were to charge for this album at all, it would probably only be like $1 or $2. But even that, I don't want to find myself suddenly in the position where I'm getting cease and desist letters from big labels. you know?
Well, I can relate.
I can't imagine that.
I think even like covers are a little less taboo than like just straight up sampling. So, I think you're pretty.
Well, I'll give it a shot. Kind of test the waters a bit, maybe.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. But that's cool though.
All right.
A lot of people like the chiptune cover thing. It's like,
Yeah. I just need to find the audience for that. And I was I was also considering, I'm like, do I need to get a different artist name for my chiptune stuff? Because I know you've got, was it chimpanzee that you use for your kind of
that's
video game stuff, or was that?
Are you outing him live on a podcast?
It's not a secret.
It's not live. It's not live.
Everyone's listening.
Are you outing
Everyone's
him pre-recorded?
listening live. No.
Right. My cat is listening, and it was just spoiled.
Actually, that moniker is kind of dead right now. I actually have been putting that kind of thing under my like actual name, like just Patrick S.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
I don't know. I don't know why. I just kind of like that. It's like makes me feel like more serious. And like I'm kind of like hoping that I can build like a nice portfolio and like demo to like sort of pitch to like indie game companies or whatever that need music for their games. Like I'd really like to make money that way. Like
Totally.
Oh,
dude, I can totally picture that. But yeah, for me, it was just like, do I stick with Jawka and risk alienating people who came just for plunderphonic, pogo-ish kind of things, or would they be cool with me also doing a lot of chiptune? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think you can do whatever you like.
Yeah, that's kind of the dilemma. Like, I can relate. It's like sometimes it's like even when I made Chimpanzee, like I made it for like chiptune and inspired things, and like eventually, I don't even know, like more like just sort of like synth pop kind of stuff, or like etc. But eventually that kind of like bled its way back into P.SUS, and then I just started making that kind of thing. In fact, a couple songs on this new album started out as chimpanzee songs, and I was just like, you know what? These songs are actually...
Which songs?
There's one song called Boring Day, and there's another song called I Miss
Sick.
My Best Friend, which is the last track on the album.
Oh,
okay.
Is that about me?
Yeah. No.
Totally. Yes.
Well, we're getting all kinds of exclusive information on this podcast. This is great. All the P.SUS fans are gonna be.
If you're a true P.SUS fan, you'd already know that.
About the...
Okay. Because it's out there.
That's right. Yeah. If you're just learning this for the first time, you're not a true fan. So feel bad about yourself.
But yeah, so anyways, there's like at first it was like, oh, I should separate my art into a different kind of side project, and then it eventually made its way back. So I don't know, like, yeah, part of me is like, you want to like artistically separate your ideas, and you don't want it to be too confusing.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I think like it's still you, and I think if you channel it all into one, like it's going to be, I mean, no matter what you do, some people aren't going to like it, some people will. So I don't know, it's a tough call. So
well, thank you for the insight.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not
I
really.
appreciate it.
There you go.
I'm still figuring it out myself. So.
All right.
Can you tell us about the cover art for your album?
Oh yeah, gladly. I'm psyched about that.
Yeah. Me too. Looks great.
My friend, he lives in China, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, but his sort of like online artist or sort of moniker or whatever is +10%. And he did my Take It Easy album cover. You can find a link, like if you go to my Bandcamp, you can find a link to his website.
We'll put a link in the description
Yeah.
somewhere, I'm sure.
Please do, because he deserves more love. Like, he's really talented,
Yeah.
and he's just been really nice about the whole thing. Like, he did way more work than he had to. He designed the CD cover and the layout, and he like made if you download the album, you get like, computer desktop backgrounds and iPad backgrounds and iPhone backgrounds of it. He made all of that. I didn't ask him to do it. He was just like, oh, I made all this stuff for you. It's just like, dude,
Oh my God,
you're a bro.
What a guy.
And
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
his like the design that he did, I'm sure most people have already seen it. Like the album cover is just like beautiful. Like I'm so blown away.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It really is awesome. And is that a 404 on the cover?
Yeah, SP404SX. Yeah, and that was his. When I get people to do my artwork, I just kind of say like with him, I was like, well, I'm thinking this album is kind of organic, so maybe something with plants. That's all I told him. It's like maybe some plants on there, and so he came up with everything else: the 404, the cube, and the background. Like I like how the background is kind of similar to like the Take It Easy background with the little dots, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like a bit granulated or whatever.
Yeah. So there's like some continuity, cool. and I feel like it mirrors the continuity between my music. Like Take It Easy and this one has some continuity vibes, I think. So it's amazing. I'm so thrilled. It makes the album feel that much better as a final product. It's like giving it, giving a face to it is like so important, I think, especially nowadays where, people click on things because it looks cool, like, oh, there's this album on YouTube. That album cover looks cool. Let me see what it sounds like. I think it's so important right now, so I owe him a lot.
All right. Shout out to plus 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
When we did that sample challenge like a year ago, where it was like that Personal Jesus song, I think.
Oh, the Depeche Mode thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that made it on there. So.
Oh my God. That made it on there?
Wait, holy shit,
I
really?
finished it up. I added a bunch more stuff to it and like polished it up, and it's like the fourth track.
That's awesome. But real quick, can we just kind of explain the concept of remix challenges for new listeners so that they have an idea of what we're talking about?
Yeah, okay, so let me explain what a remix challenge is. Basically, you take something, either a song or a video, usually something like, short, like 3 minutes or less. And then like 2 or 3, 4 guys, whoever wants to do it, basically you try and create a Plunderphonics track out of that song or video. And usually we have about an hour and a half, maybe less. So you have all that time. It's like not much time because you gotta listen to it, you gotta sample it, cut it up, and then like try and build something. And usually you got like 45 minutes to actually like be creating this track. It's pretty tough, but like sometimes some really cool stuff comes out. Sometimes some really bad stuff comes out of it.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. You never know what's gonna come out because like you're in such a time crunch that you just sort of go into autopilot mode, and it's kind of a fun way to create stuff.
Yeah, I remember I had fun with mine, but I remember unfortunately the way I had chopped things, it made it sound like Depeche was saying to like eat donkey ass or something like that. It was
I remember that.
It was pretty bad.
I don't remember that.
Vaguely remember
that sounds
that
great.
I'll roll it in here real quick.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with mine. Like, I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. This is great. And then I heard Pat's, and I was like, oh.
Well, I put it on my album, so I was like, something clicked there. I was just like, oh, actually, this is kind of turned out pretty nice.
Nice.
It just
I
just got lucky, honestly. Those nice. It was nice to have the acapella to work with.
Oh yeah. We had we had the acapella and instrumental separated out. Thank you, internet.
Thanks to the internet. So I honestly think we should do like a monthly remix challenge.
Yeah.
And I know we don't have much of an audience right now, but I think like down the line, like getting suggestions from random people on the internet would be a lot of fun. And then just like roll with exactly. With whatever. Because I kind of did my own remix challenge the other day. I just found a totally random video on YouTube, some guy doing an acoustic cover of Rock Lobster, and I just decided I would make something out of it. And it came out really neat. I'm really happy with where it's going.
Nice.
But it's just fun to just find the most bizarre thing and then like try and create something out of it.
Well, it's fun for me too because like like when you guys, or I forget which one of you chose that song to
I think it was
with.
me.
It
I
was
like that
Steve,
song a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah. It's like I would never think to sample that normally.
Right.
So it's like, you know, like most times I would just like say I'd listen to it and then I'd be like, and then I just like go on to the next track. But when you say like, oh, you have to make something out of this, it like forces you to be extra creative with it and like work with what you have, and you sometimes you make stuff that you wouldn't expect to make. It's
Right.
like I really like that about it. It's like, you know, forcing me to choose a sample I wouldn't normally choose.
Yeah, exactly. I love Personal Jesus. That's one of my favorite tracks. The outro is so cool. It's just like it's just like a minute and a half of just like a drum machine and some crazy synths and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a neat track.
It's like pretty dark, kind of. It's like kind of a like grungy sort of intense song, and I made it into like I was able to make it into a pretty song.
Right, I know, that's the thing. It was so interesting about yours. It was just like it's like really peaceful and like and calm, and mine was just like hyper over the top. It was just like it's the totally contrasting views of what this song became.
Sometimes I get mad at myself. It's just like, no, not again, not another happy sounding song. What the hell? It's like,
I wish I could tap into that.
I want to make something badass, but then it always ends up like, you know, it's just like, god damn it.
See, that's why you and Dynamo were a good combo when you guys were doing easy listening stuff, because Dynamo makes stuff that is dark and he seemingly has to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love making tracks with him. We still do it on occasion. We've put out more easy listening tracks in the past like 2 years than ever. So go check that out.
I guess I haven't been paying attention. I'm sorry, guys.
I was gonna say, we'll put a link in the description.
Go for it.
We're gonna have like 30 links down there.
No, it's because SoundCloud sucks, and like if you follow easy listening, it like you're not seeing the
Shout
tracks
out to SoundCloud for sucking.
because SoundCloud sucks.
Will this get taken off of SoundCloud if we trash it?
I mean,
no one's gonna listen to it because SoundCloud sucks. It's just like it's not gonna come up in people's feed.
That's exactly right.
R.I.P. SoundCloud.
Yeah, we just had that incident the other day where I tried to show you one of Dusty Dynamo's tracks, and it just like wasn't on his SoundCloud page.
You mentioned it, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what song is he talking about? And then I went to Dynamo's SoundCloud page, and it wasn't there until for some reason when I clicked on the tracks tab, it was there for some reason. It was just a glitch, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like I always, like for example, we made an easy listening track, and then he made like sort of an alternate mix of it. So he made that, and like I was sort of waiting for him to upload it, and I just like never saw it in my SoundCloud feed, and then I just like happened to see it, and it was like posted 1 month ago, and I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like a month late to seeing him post this. God damn it, SoundCloud. That happens all the time. It's just like I happen to go to his page.
Is it just like an algorithm error, or
I don't know. I feel like it might. I mean, I follow a lot of people on there, and a lot of people like repost things, and it might maybe it just get
Repost. I like that.
repost.
That's almost like tour.
I don't know why I said it like that.
I'm sorry to make fun of your dialects, because mine is also pretty silly. So
I don't think that was a dialect. I think that was just like a misfire.
yeah, that happens. Sorry to call you out.
No, it's chill.
So I'm gonna go to Twitter now, and we had a bunch of fans that wanted questions answered by P.SUS.
yes, thank you.
Wait, really?
Thank you, both of you. Thank you.
And by a bunch of fans, I mean 2.
Exactly.
Sweet. I'm just so famous.
Dom Brailsford at Riverman _ asks, is tomorrow a special day?
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on how you look at it. It's special if you want it to be.
Nice. Oh, wow. That was great. That was a much nicer answer than Dom deserved. All right. Atlas at Atlas Geneticist asks, what's next?
I think I already mentioned it, but I think after this album, I'm gonna focus on my live set, my live show. I also I have a bunch of other stuff. Like, I'm always 2 steps ahead of myself. So, like, you know, even like when this album's coming out, I'm already like, it's old now. You know, it's like, this stuff is old. Like, I'm already done with it. And I'm like, I'm trying to work on my, like I was saying, like my video game music demo stuff, you know, for like maybe being a composer. And I'm trying to collab with some of my friends, like collaborate. Hey. But also
shout out
to collaborate. Also, my friend, well, his name's George, and his artist name is Geo. And we have a little duo group that we've been sort of calling ourselves for, like, ever since we were a lot younger, called Geopat. It's like Chia Pet, but Geopat.
I like that. Geopat.
So we're working on stuff because he, like, he's a jazz drummer, but then he got into Ableton and he's like getting really good at Ableton really fast. So,
nice.
You know, like, that's another thing that's good after I'm done with an album. Like, when I finish an album, I'm kind of like creatively exhausted because, like, I used all the samples I wanted to use and I did all the things, you know, and collaborating, especially like all on the same track, you know, it's just like he starts with an idea and then I build on it and then I send it back to him, and then, you know, that's really good for like getting the creative juices flowing.
Right. Nice. That's a really that's a fun way of producing something. Because it's like, things happen to a track that you would never expect, obviously, because it's like 2 brains combined into one.
I mean, if you think about it, like, when you're working on a song, you know how you, like, you make, like, you know, 16 bars or something, and then you're just like, I don't know where to go from here. It's like, I'm just going to close the project file.
Yep.
Well, if you send it to your friend, he knows exactly where to go.
Right, because it's fresh.
It's just like, whoa.
I've done that with Steve a couple of times.
So,
yeah, Jack and I have done that a couple of times. It's great fun. We need to do more of that, honestly, because
we do need to do more of that. Honestly, I'll need to go digging and be like, okay, let's take a look at all these unfinished tracks that I have no idea what to do with.
Right, because I've got like a billion
things.
Maybe
Steve will do something with it.
I've got like a billion things that either need a bass line or just have gone nowhere. I should just send to you.
Well, it's nice.
And have some fun.
It's cool because I feel like a lot of times it ends up going in unexpected directions, and I think people really like that in electronic music. Like, I mean, I do. It's like, I mean, it's cool to make like a, you know, like a drawn out sort of like, I mean, I don't want to call it repetitive, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's kind of cool when like you have different brains working on a project file and it starts one place and then it morphs into something else and there's this whole different section and then it morphs into another section that's more like ambient or something, and I think that keeps people engaged. It's just like, whoa, it went to this crazy place. That's good music. So sometimes it takes multiple minds to like conceive that, you know.
Yeah. That track you worked on with Dom. Another shout out to Dom. I forget the name of it. What's the name of it? On the Collaborate EP.
Dream With Us.
Dream With Us. Yeah. There's something about that song where it feels like like a journey, or it's like an epic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's totally what I was thinking.
Because it starts in one place and like just travels to like a whole other place. It's really a neat listen.
Yeah, thanks.
If you haven't listened to that song, go check it out.
Yeah, it's on that.
I'm speaking to the
listener. It's on that Charity album. In the Air.
Yes, it is. In the Air, which I think is probably the best thing we've put out. I think quite easily.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll do more of that.
Yeah, I'd love to do more of that, and I wish I was able to do more for that than I put out, but
Your track is great. I kind of messed up.
I like my track, but I always laugh at it because the track before it is so down tempo and kind of heavy.
That's literally my fault, because I arranged the album and my train of thought was like, oh, this song is kind of like slow pacing and it's almost like somber. It's kind of sad and it has like all these like sad samples. And I was like, well, like let's kick it up. Let's like something upbeat and high energy. And I didn't really think about like quite the transition is pretty comical. It just goes from like
I mean it ends with like this sample, this child saying like, oh, I feel so alone, and then my song just comes in like, fuck your feelings, ba-da-da-da.
It's really funny.
It took me a second to remember what you're talking about.
Yep. So that's my fault.
It's great. It's wonderful. No. It's perfect.
Shit happens. It still makes me laugh.
There will be plenty more mixtapes and collaboration compilations to contribute to. So
that's right. Yeah. I think for the next one we got a. I don't know. We don't really have a theme.
A theme. Yeah.
Which like In the Air was pretty vague, but it was like sort of like summer.
Yeah.
No,
summer.
I thought it was like totally amusement park theme. Like every single track you could apply to like amusement park ride.
Really? Oh, dude, I want to hear this theory.
We kind of twisted it into that, but yeah, go on.
I mean, I didn't make my track with something in mind with that, but it is like my track was like the water ride because it's like water drop.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
So let me look at them again.
I remember you saying like, oh man, this track makes me really have to pee just because all these water sounds.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I remember when I heard Geesh, wow, it's hard to say into a microphone. G-shiz. Wow, that's tough. Shout out to Josh, listening from the UK. Hopefully you're listening, Josh. If not, you'll never hear this. When I heard his track, I was like, oh, he like super went with that theme park theme.
Yeah.
I just put a roller coaster on the cover because like to me that is summer. Like that defines summer for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So when he went for that theme, I was like, oh, this is awesome. So then in one of my tracks, I added in like sort of an intro that has some amusement park sounds, and I actually like went and found this video of one of my favorite coasters growing up at a local theme park, and added like the chain lift from that specific roller coaster like into the intro.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And so yeah, it was great. I'm glad he did that because then I think it made some of us also be like, oh, this is a fun idea.
All I remember is like Riverman, his You Want track reminds me of being on like one of those like Gravitron rides or something.
Yes.
Or like just some really intense thrill ride. And just
that's
like,
a good song, by the way.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites of his.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's not just because it features my voice.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you are kind of like in the background there, aren't you?
Featuring Steve.
Fun fact.
On the mic.
Yeah. Now, if you really want to find out what I'm saying, you gotta like turn it up really loud and put in some good headphones. But if you do hear what I'm saying, it's pretty comical.
I'm sure.
I'm curious.
Oh man. So that's a fun little tidbit in there. I think there's also voices at the end of the song, but it is so hard to interpret what is going on.
Yeah.
It's so buried in there.
Probably by design.
Yeah, I would think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of just for like the aesthetic or whatever. So,
yeah, exactly.
Like you don't have to hear what you're saying to like get the vibe of like chilling with your friends or whatever.
Right, yeah. Before we go, you want to do plugs? Everyone plug their stuff?
Sure. You can find my stuff at soundcloud.com/Jawka. And then you can find my stuff on YouTube under Jawka Jabberwock. I will put a link down in the description with everybody else's links.
Sweet.
Nice. You can find me, just Google search ThinkFishTank. You'll find me on SoundCloud, everything. Bandcamp, all that. The thing we're pushing right now is collaboratemusic.com. So definitely check that out. That is right.
It's all on there.
Yeah, all the rage. So we're going to have the podcast on there. We're going to have, we're going to start, not a blog, but we're going to start publishing some articles of, us writing about music and stuff. And we'll have all our music on there, updates. So check that out, collaboratemusic.com. All right, Pat, hit us with your plugs and give us a final pitch for the new album.
Well, all you really need to know is P.SUSmusic.com. I've got it all organized on there. You can find links to my SoundCloud, Facebook, etc., Patreon if you want to be extra generous to me. Yeah. I appreciate anyone who's willing to do that. That helps keep me going. And I don't know. Like I said before, it's, selling yourself as an artist just makes me a little uncomfortable, but that I think you'll really like the album if you don't know who I am, if you like Pogo or you like the Avalanches or are into that kind of thing, or if you really like P.SUS, I think it's a special love letter to you. It's I try to make it for the fans, so yeah, I think people are going to like it. If you like my vocoder stuff, that's something I didn't mention earlier. If you like vocoder, my tracks where I do the vocoder vocals, there's a lot of that on there too. So
word.
Yeah, if you like lyrics, I got some
Whoa, you got lyrics.
Shitty lyrics.
Ooh. Do you drop any bars, dude?
I dropped about 1 bar per song.
Oh, sick. Per song. Nice.
That's all the lyrics I could come up with.
Awesome.
But no, yeah, I think it's personally my favorite album that I've made. I think it's my best work probably so far. As far as especially as a collection, the way it holds together and the versatility of the tracks. And so, if that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. It's my favorite. So
all right.
Looking forward to it, dude.
You heard it here, folks.
That's right. P.SUSmusic.com. Grab a pre-order, $10 or more. You can give him
or more.
$10,000 if you want to, if it's worth that much. And also the physical copies are available for $16 or more. And you get a sticker and all this. And if you're me, Pat will probably write a personal message to you as well. So very exciting. So definitely check
no
that
promises. maybe if you subscribe to my Patreon.
Oh, that's right. Right.
Oh yeah, that could be a thing.
That could be a thing.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
Right.
It's been confirmed. It is a thing. Awesome. You already have a bunch of pre-purchases. I can't even count these, but there's already a ton, so this is great. Anyway, this has been fun. That was Jack and Pat and myself.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
All right, we're looking forward to next time.
The next one will be less awkward, we promise.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll do what I can in post to pare things down and keep it going. But yes,
all right,
we
guys.
will get better at this.
It'd be nice to have more people too, Dom. Dom would be great on here. Shout outs.
Yeah, we'll bring in Dom he's gonna talk about his album once that's ready to drop. So we'll bring him on.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Josh.
And we'll talk.
Let's get Josh on here.
We'll get Josh on
Absolutely.
here. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Cool guys, it's been fun, and hit us with the outro music.
See ya.
Thanks for listening.